Shabbat shalom.
Shalom, everyone.
There you go.
Baruch Yahuwah. Long time. Been a long, long time.
Long time, been a minute. We both been working it out, working, and working.
Man, nice to put that whip to our back. Get to it, boy.
Yeah. Hey, that job, journey obviously bound.
Man,
So I know we're gonna talk on a lot of different things, but my focus though is my brother is my keeper. You know, that's
absolutely.
my focus. Me and you are brothers and we keep each other, we guard each other. We shamar each other.
Absolutely.
We call each other on the phone as well as keep each other, palau. We lift each other up in prayer and all that. You know, we've been running this race, for a minute, and we see how in Israel folks do their thing. But what I'm gonna do is let you go ahead and you can start it off. We both brothers, but I'm gonna treat you like you my guest in my house, and I'm gonna let you have some say. So go ahead and speak, bro. Tell me what you got
First,
to say, and then we're gonna get to what I want to talk on a little bit.
giving all the esteem to the Most High Yahuwah for giving us a breath of life to wake up today, to be strong in His Word, to uplift the people. Well,
Mhm.
you know,
Definitely gonna open us up in prayer. You got it. Since you got the lead on it, you gonna open us up in prayer.
Father Yah, we come together on this Shabbat. We ask you that you open somebody else's heart, open somebody else's ear, and let them be slow to speak, but be eager to listen. We just ask that you put your protection around Yasharel like you never have before. All these catastrophes and all this wickedness going on, we just ask you to watch over us and guide us and protect us, Yah, like you always do. We trust you, Yah. And all things we pray that things work out for the greater good. So be it.
So be it.
Well, we got a problem. We got a big problem on our hand because Christians like to hide behind the screen and say Black Hebrew Israelism. They probably say the same thing. I'm hiding behind the screen, but it's not that I'm hiding behind the screen. We can never connect to have an open conversation about these things. There's no such thing as Black Hebrew Israelism, but it's a such thing as the horror Babel, the
Mm.
horrors of Babel.
Yeah, all us Israelites are actually brethren. But we don't operate as such. We don't even recognize each other as such. Even those that are proclaiming themselves Christians, that's uh, a faith-based initiative, I guess. What faith in what? I don't know. I ain't gonna even play with that no more. But we a bloodline. We brethren and we got to reconnect with one another and stuff, but we've been operating like Yahuda, not my brother Zion here, but Yahuda, the one that betrayed Yahusha. We don't keep our brother, we don't guard our brother, we don't look out for one another like we supposed to. And so when it comes to this information out here, my brother right here is one of these that forever reading information and sharing, especially when it comes to the Torah. So hit them up.
So here's something. That's what they do to us, and according to the Torah. Let's look at let's look at Jeremiah 17 chapter 21st through 25th verse. You can read it out, put it on the screen, and everything.
Jeremiah 17. Let's go there. All right. Jeremiah Yirmiyahu 17,
21st through 25th verse.
21st through 25th verse. Going there. Yeah. And I'm going to put it up on the screen and I'll read it for you. Here we go. Sharing the screen. Yirmiyahu 17, what's called 21st verse through the 25th. It says, "Thus said Yahuwah, guard yourselves and bear no burden on the Sabbath day, nor bring it in by the gates of Jerusalem, nor take a burden out of your houses on the Sabbath day, nor do any work. And you shall set apart the Sabbath day as I commanded your fathers. But they did not obey or incline their ear, and they made their neck stiff not to hear and not to receive instruction. And it shall be, if you diligently obey me, declares Yahuwah, to bring in no burden through the gates of this city on the Sabbath day, and set apart the Sabbath day to do no work in it, then sovereigns and heads sitting on the throne of David shall enter in through the gates of this city, riding in chariots and on horses, they and their heads, the men of Yehuda and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and this city, excuse me, and this city shall be inhabited forever."
I guess the Jewish people fulfilled that, huh? I'm just saying. I guess the Jewish people fulfilled that with the Pope.
Is obviously that's not the case for us, but they seem to believe that. Even these folks here in America, America, you know,
So
the dumpsters.
exactly.
Yeah.
Go to Second Chronicles 36 and 16.
Second Chronicles 36. All right. Second Chronicles 36 and 16. How far down am I reading this?
That's 16.
Just 16. All right. Sharing the screen again. All right. Debris Hayamin Bet. Second Chronicles 36 and 16 says, "But they were mocking the messengers of Elohim and despising his words and scoffing at his prophets, until the wrath of Yahuwah arose against his people until there was no healing."
That's what we're seeing going on right now. We still seeing it going on to this day because our people like bloodshed in the street. Our people like they like the most dumbest things. I ain't never seen it for the life. They like everything that goes against Torah. Anything that the Most High love, they hate it. But
Yeah,
then
they're very consistent with it at that. You know, everything. We coming to a day that, I see a lot of folks getting comfortable and moving in autopilot, allowing other things to dictate and guide them instead of Yah,
that, that's
having a
not the
desire of fulfilling men and women, even their children, more so than Yah. And, this kind of what got us in this position that we in right now. I'm gonna if we can keep going what you going on, unless you want me to shift a little bit towards what I was talking about, and
we
then
shift
come back to you. What you want to do?
we shift ahead. We can keep moving.
All right. So I'm gonna shift over here then to Genesis 37, starting off with verse 3. Bereshit 37. It says, "And Israel loved Joseph more than all his children." Israel loved Joseph more than all his children. So he basically had more respect for this person of his son than the rest of them. because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a long robe. But when his brothers saw that their father loved him more than all his brothers, they hated him and were not able to speak peaceably to him. You got brothers like Yahuda out here, got all his word in him, reading the word consistently, and he got a lot of hate towards him because he fluent with his word, ministering his word. I see it. I see it. Let's keep going. And Joseph dreamed a dream and told it to his brothers, so they hated him even the more. You're gonna have some folks out of here that's teaching and telling the things that's going to happen, seeing this world for what it is and how Yah is going to allow some things to occur. I know I'm paraphrasing and jumping off the topic of what here, but it's the principle behind it. And he said to them, "Please listen to this dream which I have dreamed. See, we were binding sheaves in the midst of the field, and see, my sheaf rose up and also stood up." This youngest brother was going to be the leader over his other brethren. "And see, your sheaves stood all around and bowed down to my sheaf." And his brother said to him, "Shall you indeed reign over us?" Some of the people have set leaders, and there's going other leaders going to come up that Yah has chosen, and it's going to be a problem. "Shall you indeed rule over us?" So they hated him even more for his dreams and for his words. And he dreamed still another dream and related it to his brothers and said, "See, I have dreamed another dream, and see, the sun and the moon and even stars bow down to me." And he related it to his father and his brothers, and his father rebuked him and said to him, "What is this dream that you have dreamed? Shall we, your mother, and I, and your brothers indeed come to bow down to the earth before you?" And his brothers envied him, but his father guarded the word. And his brothers went to feed their flocks, their father's flock in Shechem. And Israel said to Joseph, "Are you not brothers? Are not your brothers feeding the flock in Shechem? Come, and I send you to them." "See," he said, "here I am." This son, though he was going to end up being lead in his dream, was one that was willing to accept the authority of those that were in authority over him. And he said to him, "Please go and see if it is well with your brothers and well with the sheep, and bring back word to me." So he sent him out of the valley of Hebron, and he went to Shechem. And a certain man found him, and see, he was wandering in the field, and the man asked him, saying, "What do you seek?" And he said, "I am seeking my brothers." The ministers, the Israelites that are out here, they are seeking their brothers, the lost sheep. They got a problem with us Israelites. They call us Black Hebrew Israelites, but we're seeking our brothers. These so-called Christians, we're seeking them, trying to bring them in. They got a problem with us, though. We walking in Torah. We're obedient to our Father. We're chosen by our Father. Though we seem to be something new out here, we seem to be young out here, like Yosef, they got a problem with us. But we just obedient to our Father. And we're seeking our brothers, doing what we're supposed to do. Some of us are on street corners doing it. I'm not one doing that. I'm doing that on social media. Some of us have set up assemblies. Israel is seeking the lost brothers, the lost tribe, those that need to be awakened. It says, "Please inform me where they are feeding their sheep." And the man said, "They have left here, for I heard them say, 'Let us go towards Dothan.'" Yet Joseph went after his brothers and found them in Dothan. And they saw him from a distance. And before he came near them, they plotted against him to kill him. Christians have a very great issue with Israelites. I'm not gonna say they plotting to kill us, but they want to discredit what we're doing. They want to discredit what Yah has sent us to do. We are our brother's keeper. They are to be too. They are supposed to guard his word, but they're guarding a doctrine, guarding something that's outside of what the word is saying, what the Torah is saying, and they're seeking to pull us back into that or disobey Yah. They're not seeking to give us life of the Torah. They want to take that away. And they said to each other, see, this master of dreams is coming. Now then, come and let us now kill him and throw him into some pit and shall say, some wild beast has devoured him. Let us then see what comes of his dreams. Let us then see what comes of the awakening. They're going to discredit us. They're going to knock what we doing. We up early this Shabbat talking on on Zoom. I'm going to leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there, and I'm gonna let you step in and go at it again. You passing the baton, but I just want what do you have any thoughts on that? I should say. I know
Oh
that's
yeah,
not what the text is about, but the
right.
principle behind it. Go
I got
ahead.
thoughts on because like Psalms 83. That matches what you're saying right now.
Psalms
The enemy,
83.
exactly. If you're not a brother, you're an enemy. I mean, at this point, I just look like they painted Negro pins into the Most High Poet's rock on them.
Hmm. So where is that in 83? I should go.
Just Psalms 83.
Just the whole 83.
Yeah, because it's talking about the enemies of Yasharel.
Okay, let me hit that then. Let's go there. Sharing the screen. Tehillim, Psalms 83. It says, O Elohim, do not remain silent, do not be speechless, and do not be still, O El. For look, your enemies make an uproar, and those hating you have lifted up their head. They craftily plot against your people and conspire against your treasured ones. They have said, come, and let us wipe them out as a nation, and let the name of Israel be remembered no more. They want to keep this Christian thing going, but they want to wipe out the true Israel. They have no problem representing them Zionists over there, but the true Israel, they want to wipe us out. For they have conspired together with one heart. They have made a covenant against you. The tents of Edom and the Ishmaelites, Edom, those over there in that land, them Edomites and Ishmaelites, mm, Moab and Hagarites, Gabal and Ammon and Amalek, Philistia with the inhabitants of Zor. Asher also has joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot or Lot, Selah. Do to them as to Midian, as to Sisera, as to Yabin, at the Wadi Kushan, who perished at Endor, who became as dung, came as feces for the ground. Make their nobles like Oreb and Zeb, and all their princes like Zeba and Zalmunna, who had said, let us take possession of the pastures of Elohim for ourselves. O my Elohim, make them as whirling dust, as stubble before the wind. As a fire consumes a forest, as a flame sets mountains on fire, so pursue them with your whirlwind and frighten them with your storm. Fill their faces with shame and let them seek your name, O Yahuwah. Let them be ashamed and alarmed forever, and let them become abashed and perish, and let them know that you, whose name is Yahuwah, you alone are the most high over all the earth. Yada Yahuwah.
Now I'm gonna go to Ezekiel 43rd chapter, 10 through 12. No,
Ezekiel,
no, no, go back, take that back. 9 through 12. 43rd
Ezekiel
chapter, 9 through 12.
9 through 12. Okay. So Ezekiel or Ezekiel 43, 9 through 12. It says, now let them put their whoring and the corpses of their sovereigns far away from me, and I shall dwell in their midst forever. Son of man, explain to the house of Yasharel, and when they are ashamed of their crookedness, it'll say, explain the house to the house of Yasharel, and when they are ashamed of their crookedness, they shall measure the measurements. And since they shall be ashamed of all that they did, make known to them the design of the house and its structure and its exits and its entrances, its entire design and all its laws. And it is in all its forms and all its Torah. Torah is Torah. And write it down before their eyes so that they observe its entire design and all its laws and shall do them. You said read down to what?
Right there. That was it right there.
All right. Hmm.
But then they say we saved by grace. You know that grace work. That's saved by grace, and now they're jumping up and down on Sunday. Go get a lot of people in that pit because our people perish for lack of knowledge.
One thing that get me is that they act like that Noah didn't have grace. You know, they act like grace is this new thing or whatever, and it's like grace is it's almost like a result of obedience. When you obey, then there's grace.
They don't want to hear that.
Noah obeyed. He was told, build an ark, separate the clean, unclean, do all this. And then grace was his reward. I'm like, grace is not I guess, permission to continue in the way that you've been going. There has to be a shift. There has to be a change. There has to be a correction of sorts. You know, there has to be a turning. There has to be teshuvah. You have to return or turn back to Torah. And we've been taught this repentance thing is just, oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. But you see people apologizing, but no change in their actions, no new recourse for the navigation. Recalculating, there's no recalculating. They keep going in the direction they're going, even though it's going left instead of going right or going towards where we're supposed to be going. And they still believe that they should receive a reward with that. And it's like, how does that make sense? Why would he reward you for your rebellion and disobedience? And if you
Absolutely.
think that just, sacrifice is sufficient, you have him all type of messed up.
Matter of fact,
He don't pleasure in sacrifice. I'm like, if you look at the whole narrative of Adam and Eve or Havah, if they had obeyed, where would there be a need of anything dying to cover them? Their nakedness was the natural form or how they was to be, and they only required covering when they were awakened due to their transgression.
yep, I got a scripture for that right there. What you just figured on.
I'm here. If you want to do some reading, you can too. You got it.
Okay, this in Yirmiyahu 19th chapter, first through the sixth verse.
Okay.
It said, "Thus says Yahuwah, go and go get a potter's earthen jug, and take some of the elders of the people and some of the elders of the priests. Then you shall go out to the valley of the son of Hanan, which is by the entry of the partial gate, and shall proclaim there the words I speak to you. And you should say, Hear the word of Yahuwah, sovereigns of Yehuda, and heavens of Jerusalem. Thus says Yahuwah to Sabbath, the Elohim of Yasharel. saying, bringing evil on this place that makes the ears tingle of all who hears it, because they have forsaken me and have profaned this place and have burnt incense in it to other mighty ones, whom neither they, their fathers, nor the servants of Yehuda have known. They have filled this place with the blood of the innocents, and have built up the high places of Baal, and burned their sons with fire for burnt offerings to Baal, which I did not command or speak, nor did it come to my heart. Therefore, see, the day are coming, declares Yahuwah, that this place shall no more be called Tophet, or the valley, or the son of Hinnon, but rather the valley of slaughter. They don't hear that, man. They think this is all done away with.
And that's the thing, though. How can y'all say that he does not have his word come back void, and they think that what he put out there, he not gonna finish it or make it come to completion? I'm like, who they think they dealing with? They think they dealing with a man or something, you know. Men always will tell you, oh, I'll call you back, and they forget to call you back. Oh, I'll pray for you. They forget to pray for you. Or I'm gonna give you your money back. You know, men, or I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna do this. Men will tell you something and forget. It don't always be in malice that they don't do what they say they gonna do. They may forget, but we ain't dealing with a man. We dealing with a mighty one, and he ain't forgetful like that. He know the end from the beginning. So if he set the stage for something to occur and says this is what's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It might not happen in our lifetime, but it's gonna happen. I'm like, people say they believe the book that we read, they call the Bible, but then when you test them, you find out no, they don't believe it. They only want to cherry pick and pick the sections that they want to be okay with. They want to take what fits their narrative and not what fits Yah's will being done on earth as it is in the Shamayim.
It don't go with their agenda. This is real life. We talking about this is forever. We talking about trying to get to what they talking about is a fairy tale fiction made of a made up character, a painting, a creed, and
Mm-hmm.
when I say these things, like I said, it ain't that I try to challenge what they believe. If Jesus is so real, this why y'all just say the Bible? Why y'all all saying the Bible, Titicus and everything? But don't y'all know Titicus? Before Titicus, it was Belivius. Do they know the first pope in Rome was named Sylvester? This was before Constantine. Constantine just legalized Christianity. He legalized it. If a man legalized it, how can the Torah be abolished when the Most High gave Torah to Yahshua with his finger? How can that ever be abolished? How can we be so less than people? How can we let some people brainwash you that bad that you too busy saying I'm a Christian and you think people think that you think that's the thing that's the thing to say. But y'all said I love the God of the Bible. There's a lot of gods in the Bible, but there's only one creator. That's for one set of people. He's not for the Jewish people. He's not for the Islam. He's not for the Muslims. He's not for the Orthodox. He's not for the Christians. He's not for none of the whores or Mabel. He's for the most. He's for the lost sheep. The Mashiach came for the lost sheep. The most I told no, he's not gonna burn. He's not gonna flood the earth no more. So why we still keep on doing wickedness? One of these days it's gonna burn, and ain't nobody gonna be able to do nothing, tell you nothing no more. You gonna burn right along in that fire.
You see, this, what you said right there, it's like, man, how did they not get with a kingdom? You could have people from other nations be a part of the program, but those nations can't be a part of the program. If a kingdom is about dominating and having dominion, that means it's going to dominate all these other nations. If you dominate something, that means it has no more relevance anymore. It's gone. So the people that was of these other nations, they're gonna have to denounce the nations that they are part of or been a part of. Otherwise, they're gonna be the ones subject to being dominated as well. You can't. It ain't a marriage that we gonna marry in or link in with other nations. No, they gonna have to cleave to us. They're gonna have to cleave to Israel. They're gonna have to release all that. Them 12 gates that it talks about in Revelations are a part of a kingdom. So those are entrances. The names on it say who's supposed to enter in through that gate. And if you ain't cleaved to one of those, what are you going in that gate? You ain't gonna see the wrong tribe going in the wrong gate. Other people,
Yes,
other nations, they can't go in there. They can't say, "Oh, I'm coming in as Egyptian." No, you coming in as someone who cleaving to one of those 12 gates. Otherwise, what? You gonna still have your loyalty to what you was, or what you gonna be?
they ain't gonna be doing all that. That whole my bad, that holy dancing and that.
Yeah, yeah. I'm like,
I mean,
shoot,
I
man.
mean, like, what do you? I mean, some of our people in the Hebrew community, I love them dearly. It's like some of y'all just not no disrespect, no shade towards nobody. Some of y'all just waking up. What are y'all still praise dancing for? This ain't a Christian moment.
I
Oh,
don't have no problem with dancing personally. But I think they might want to check the spirit behind what they doing. If
that part.
that's the thing. I believe
So
y'all use what we used before, but sometimes we may have to sit that thing down so that he can cleanse it up or put it through the fire. Because some of the stuff it ain't supposed to keep going with us. We supposed to put away childish things. So some stuff needs to be left behind. David danced, so it's gonna be some dancing. But some of the stuff they be doing, like this miming and stuff like that, all of that, I'm like that. Them theatrics, that entertaining, it's like it don't seem like it's ruach led. If you doing something, the ruach moving you cool. But if it's something orchestrated and is practiced out, it's like I don't know, but I'm not. I've never been a dancer myself, so I can't really speak on it. But I don't be feeling it. I don't be feeling none of those, the mime stuff, even with the little flag stuff or whatever. I don't be feeling it. It don't really do nothing for me. Even some of the worship nowadays, and when you we just basically regurgitate Christian songs and just change the name.
pretty
You
much.
Jesus, Jesus, oh, Yahusha, Yahusha. It's like, okay, the same spirit that was on that original song to me still be there. And I'm like,
Exactly.
I wish that we would allow his creativity, since we are his sons, to come up out of us. Be it male or female, start singing a new song, something that comes straight from the kingdom, and not something that we have to repurpose from Christianity. Why do we always have to repackage something that was already out there?
Exactly.
We got skill sets enough to do, excuse me, some new stuff.
But I think you did for Christianity, you can do it hard for the Most High now.
Yeah.
If it,
Yeah, they wrote good stuff, write new stuff. I don't know. I don't want to deter anybody from doing what Yah's led them do. So if they led of Yah, let me shut up and let them do. But I don't discern that everything is led of Yah. Some stuff I'll be like, okay, let's test this. I really firmly believe we should test every spirit. And sometimes when you test people, they get bothered, and they get
uh,
fatigued with the relationship, and they're ready to quit on you. And it's like, okay, you say you believe in this book. This book say test a spirit, so I'm just testing you. It ain't that I have a definitive you ain't doing it right. No, but if what you're doing is right, it should be able to stand through a test. It should be able to hold up. It shouldn't fall apart just because it's tested. You shouldn't be getting angry just because somebody asking you, is this what it is?
they go get angry all day because they ain't got most of them ain't got no knowledge. They got a lot of stuff to say, but when you try to talk to them about it, they get all gruff and everything, like they offending you. But really, they offended the Most High because Most High sent us people like us to be messengers to the people. But they
Yeah.
can't accept that we're not scholars. We're not under the same theology, under the
Oh
same
man, we
hermeneutic.
we we went to cemetery.
Nope.
The seminary, cemetery. I don't know. I don't want to knock anybody that go forth and get their degree, but I don't want anybody to be puffed up to think that that's what's necessary to be a speaker of the word. Because if you look through that book, you don't see many of them that are learned people. Kepha was not a learned person. You could say Shaul was or Paul was, but Peter was not. And yet they both had platform with Yahusha. And actually Kepha actually really had platform with Yahusha. Shaul came up later after the death, burial, and resurrection and said he was spoken to. We know firmly that Kepha walked with Yahusha. So that unlearned man, he operated with the Ruach. Why is this necessity? Oh, you got to go to school. Go, people be knocking anybody. I love my brothers out here who teach the Hebrew language, but I'm like to act as if everyone is going to learn the Hebrew language is right now in this time in season is not accurate. And to act like the Ruach has not led people even when in captivity. It's happened over and over that people in captivity, even Moshe was in the house of the Egyptians, living as an Egyptian, and he was able to lead his people out. But he was
Exactly.
mostly Egyptian. If you looked at all of his mannerisms and stuff like that, he was raised up Egyptian. Yes, he's an Israelite, but who was he raised up as? And most of us right now, we raised up as Americans, but what are we? We Israelites. These shirts I'm wearing a shirt that I designed, but this is Americanized type shirt. Our pants, our the language Americanized. We still getting across Yah's message, even though we speak in a whole different language. Yes, the pure language is the best, but you cannot knock that the Ruach can still use whomever, whatever person he desires. And to discredit somebody because they don't learn or don't know the Hebrew language, to me is a travesty, because a lot of us are still bound. See the top of your head, Ak, you in there?
Yeah, I'm here.
You over there looking up something? Well, since you
Yeah,
looking up something, I'm gonna hit something else real quick then.
yeah. I'm looking. I got something for you.
Okay, I'm gonna hit something else real quick, and since I was on this brother kick or whatever and stuff like that, I dealt with the betraying brothers and stuff like that. But let's look at some loyal brotherhood type situation. Let me share my screen real quick, and I'm over here in Shemuel Aleph or First Samuel in 19. And it says,
Say,
and Shaul spoke to Jonathan, his son, and to all his servants to put Dawid to death. This is Dawid who would be king. But Jonathan, Shaul's son, delighted much in Dawid. He loved his brother. I love my brother Zion. Love him. And Jonathan declared to Dawid, saying, my father Shaul seeks to put you to death. And now, please be on your guard until to morning, and dwell in secrecy and hide. And I myself shall go out and stand beside my father in the field where you are, and speak with my father about you, and shall see, and shall let you know. And Jonathan spoke well of Dawid to Shaul, his father, and said to him, let not the sovereign sin against his servant, against Dawid, because he has not sinned against you, and because his works have been very good towards you. For he took his life in his hands and struck the Philistine, and Yahuwah wrought a great deliverance for all of Israel. You saw it and rejoiced. Why then did you sin against innocent blood to put Dawid to death without cause? You sending people mercenaries, you're trying to get this man killed. But he showed nothing but loyalty to Yahuwah and loyalty to you. This is what a brother do. A brother, he defends his brother behind his back. This man is standing up to his own father for the sake of his brother. A man that would eventually gain the kingdom that Jonathan was basically the heir to at that moment. But he's willing to defy his own father to look out for his brother. And Shaul listened to the voice of Jonathan, and Shaul swore, as Yahuwah lives, he does not die. Jonathan then called Dawid, and Jonathan told him all these words. So Jonathan brought Dawid to Shaul, and he was in his presence as before. And there was fighting again, and Dawid went out and fought with the Philistines and struck them a great smiting, and they fled before him. So Dawid was very loyal to Jonathan, but he was loyal to Shaul, who was trying to kill him. And Jonathan, his brother, kept him, guarded him, sought nothing but life for him, even when it came to his own father wanting to kill his brother. We got to look out for one another, Zion.
Absolutely.
And, even these Christians, we got to, give them opportunity to come back and be awakened. You know, trust the process. Believe Yah is wakening up those who are his. I know I'm harsh on a lot of these Christians myself, but I'm not doing it because I want to see them fail and see them, into a demise state. But no, I would love for them to have the opportunity to be awakened just as I was. A brother was at me when I was walking in the indoctrination of Christianity, and he wouldn't give up on me. Me and him are not at peace at the moment. We're not cool like that, but I'm open if he ever seeks to shuva or seeks to redeem the relationship. I'm open to it, but man, we can't just give up on each other. Can't do it. You got the table, bro.
Okay. We're going to go to Psalms 135th chapter now.
Psalms 135.
We'll read that.
All right. You gonna read it or me?
You know, we can read half. I can read the other half. It's pretty long.
It's pretty
21
long.
verses. 21 verses. You read the first 11. I read the last. Read the
Oh,
last 10.
okay. So let me go and share the screen and let us get it going then. Tehillim, Psalms 135. Praise Yah. Praise the name of Yahuwah. Praise you servants of Yahuwah, who are standing in the house of Yahuwah, in the courts of the house of our Elohim. Praise Yah. For Yahuwah is good. Sing praises to his name, for it is pleasant. For Yah has chosen Yaakov for himself, Israel for his treasured possession. For I know that Yahuwah is great, and our master is above all mighty ones. Yahuwah has done whatever pleased him in the heavens and in earth, in the seas and in all the depths, causing vapors to go up from the ends of the earth. He made lightning for the rain, bringing forth wind from his treasures. Who struck the firstborn of Mizraim from man to beast? He sent signs and wonders into your midst, O Mizraim, O Pharaoh, and on all his servants. Who struck many nations and killed mighty sovereigns? Even Sihon, sovereign of the Amorites, and Og, sovereign of Bashan, and all the reigns of Canaan.
And he gave their land as inheritance, an inheritance to Yashrael, his people. Yahuwah, your name is forever. Yahuwah, your remembrance to all generations. For Yahuwah rightly rules his people and has compassion on his servants. The idols of the nations are silver and gold, the work of men's hands. They have mouths, they do not speak. They have eyes, they do not see. They have ears, but they do not hear. Also, there is no breath in their mouth. Those making them become like them. Everyone who is trusting in them. Baruch Yahuwah, O house of Yasharel. Baruch Yahuwah, O house of Aaron. Baruch Yahuwah, O house of Luite. You who fear Yahuwah. Baruch Yahuwah. Baruch Yahuwah from Zion. Yahuwah be who dwells in Zion. Praise Yah.
Hallelujah. Yada Yahuwah. Yada Yahuwah. Mm, that's what's up. Shabbat shalom.
Now we go to we still in Psalms. We go to Psalms 136, 30th chapter in the second verse.
You said Psalms 130?
Yep, in second verse.
All right. All right. I'm sharing the screen again. Oh, share. Just the second verse
That's the second verse.
says, Tehillim, Psalms 130. Oh, Yahuwah, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my prayers.
My prayer is that we stop bickering one another and stop killing each other. That's my prayer every day. Because killing, man, the killing ain't going. These killings out here just be, I don't even know, unnecessary.
Yeah, we are losing a lot of young men. And it's like, man, the age range of life, man, it's like, man, they get around at 18 years, this is something that I don't know. I've said on numerous occasions that people may not hear me. I didn't think I was going to live past 18, and I think we have a lot of young men that feel that way. That it's like, man, because I don't know. You had mentioned to me recently about someone in your family or someone that you love being that get to that point and things happening, and I see it around my family and stuff like that. And it's like, man, you want to encourage them and give them hope, but they don't really see a purpose of them even being here. It's almost as if they like, why am I here? We talked. I talked about that job or journey, obviously bound. Some people like, I don't want to spend my life just working and laboring all the time and stuff like that. And so I don't know. I see a lot of young folks disheartened with how things are because we are obviously still in this land of bondage, and man, you just got off work. I'm like, come on, work. We give most of our life to some employer. We don't see many of us as employers, or we don't raise to the level where we're employing one another, or that we have our freedom. And it's like, man, it is kind of rinse and repeat and tiring. It's draining. Spiritually, it's draining. What do you have left for your family? What do you have left to just enjoy?
Crazy.
So, but we definitely supposed to be our brother's keeper. I know one of my favorite texts, I ain't gonna go there, but it says, let another man praise you and not the words out of your own mouth. And if we really look at the culture that they call hip hop or whatever, them people are boasting and bragging. They basically are praising themselves. And I wonder if it's because we lack in our community praise towards one another. Because we'll say praise the Most High, but when somebody does something good, you see it sometimes go without reward. My daughter graduated college, and I'm not one that's ever been really big on college, but that's still an achievement. So I want to celebrate her. I'm celebrating her tomorrow. But so often when we see somebody do something in our community they get celebrated for foolishness. You'll see a greater celebration for somebody getting out of jail than someone that finishes up some type of training or school, or let someone even save a life or something. It's like it ain't really much that's it don't seem to be something that's elevated. You'll see on TV when somebody get arrested or whatever, they'll make a big scene about it, but let somebody do something as far as helping somebody, and it's like it's just a momentary blip, and you may not even hear about it. But you let somebody do something wrong, and they're gonna be talking about it for months and months on end. You do something good, they talk about it one moment and it's done.
You should go search the neighborhood. You gonna hear about that for the to 2099.
Yeah.
But
Them
you
hood
talk about
chronicles and stuff like that. Yeah, you got them hood chronicles, but when it comes to somebody doing good, especially somebody that's walking in Torah. Walking in Torah has never been seen to me from what I've seen in our community, it should be looked at great. But other people be looking at it like, man, this dude, he a do-gooder. He always, you know, it's almost criticized, when you one that follow the rules.
right.
You don't have to like the rules, but when you follow the rules, you be the one that they always looking at side eyed, like even calling you a snitch or whatever and stuff like that, just because you doing what you are responsible to do.
They can't comprehend that. Too much
You
theology
know.
in them.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you're a person that goes to work when you're on a schedule. You do your job. But you
Yeah.
get, I don't know. I see people that miss work all the time. People that don't do what they supposed to do, and they'll be the ones that seem to get away with everything or whatever. They're like, well, we could ask you to do it because we know we can count on you. And it's like, well, hold on, that they work. That ain't my work. But you want to
Right.
put it on me. Oh, but we can count on you. So that means we get paid the same, and I should work harder because you can count on me. you know, uh, you be a good Negro.
Yes, master.
Yeah, you know, we know you'll do it. We're gonna bring you the assignment. This is his assignment. No, it's yours now. Cause
All
we,
right, boss. Good
yeah,
boss.
yeah, we know you a good do a good job. You know, but they don't never reward us for doing a good job. Like your other job, you running that thing and stuff like that, handling the thing. You like, hey, can I get a raise?
Man,
They can't tell me they profits ain't coming due to your diligence.
they know what it is. They want to be telling them to share our lives.
Mm. Man, Zion, I am getting a little famished and hungry.
No problem, Mark.
So, so you got anything you want to finish up with, or
I,
okay.
I can get that scripture and that's it. And if they
Okay.
don't believe what you said, they need to research this. This in Psalm 78 chapter in the 67 and 68 verse.
I'm gonna go there, so we, so we can take the time to get there. Psalm 78.
67 and 68. We did a full circle. What you talking about? Is it a full circle?
Okay, I'm going there. Whew. Yeah. All right. Let me share the screen, and then I love you, bro. So just if I'm pretty sure you done heard me say it, but I'm gonna say it here on this open channel. I love you. Ahava. You know. It's good to tell one another we love each other and stuff like that. And actually, I believe we both have shown it towards each other. We ain't just saying it. There's been action towards it. So I thank you, though. I enjoyed fellowshipping and talking with you. So thank you. So we're here at Tehillim, Psalm 78, and you said 67 and 68.
Mm-hmm.
It says, Then he rejected the tent of Joseph and did not choose the tribe of Ephraim, but chose the tribe of Yahudah, Mount Zion, which he loved.
Hmm. Where's hold on. What tribe of Jewish where? Tribe,
I thought the tribe of Judah, the northern tribe was the ones lost. The southern tribe was Yahuda, but we all they end up moving down into Africa or moving down, and then they end up being sent out in slavery. I thought, but I see a lot of teachers now trying to say that the transatlantic slave trade is not us. I'm seeing Israelites saying that, and this is just throwing me off. I'm like, okay, um, if you look at all of that land that they came from, those of the transatlantic slave trade, that land right there is called Negro land, and you see a kingdom of Judah in that area.
mhm,
Those people were
melanated.
well, anyway. But what was your focus? Because I think I went on a tangent there. Go ahead.
We were just talking how you talking about Yusuf, then what we talking about Yusuf, then we talked about Ephraim, and then who he chose out of all the tribes. That's all I was reading reference to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm like, shoot, Yahoo, that Southern Kingdom had
Benjamin, Levite, and Yehuda.
Levites, yeah. Then it had some Ephraimites in there, Ephraim. I'm saying, all of us ain't Judah or we or Yahuda. But I don't know. It, I don't have the best praise in me, but I do feel like sometimes I'll be wondering if the Levitical aspect is where I'm lining up with. I see that on you as well, the Levitical. I see Levi on you, bro.
Because everybody teaches us, but the Most High, that's what it is, though. And
Yeah.
people hate to hear that. People hate to hear that.
Yeah, they hate to hear that. I don't know. People want. I think they would love to see us align with assemblies and stuff like that. And it's not that we can't take directions, but we have.
It's too far.
I know me myself personally. I have a problem with somebody leading over me that can't be held accountable. I don't have a problem with other people leading over me, but it's a problem when they can't be held accountable, when they can transgress or do things, and when you say, "Hey, that's not of Yah," they not humble themselves. I have no problem with me, humbling myself or being humble, but man, it's hard to stay under somebody's leadership that whenever they do something wrong, they can't be held accountable. That's why my responsibility is to lead over my house. I ain't trying to lead over no other men and stuff. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do here in my home, and I'm walking according to Torah in my own day to day. And I see you do that day to day. You know,
Absolutely. Get hard, but at the end of the day, I keep striving, though, no matter what.
yeah. Well, let's close this thing out. You started this up, so I guess I can close this out.
No problem.
Abiyah, thank you for the Shabbat. I thank you for this opportunity to minister to your people. May me and my brother Yahuda guard one another, but first guard your Torah, guard your Shabbat. Let us shamar your will. Let us be about having your will done in our homes, in our lives, so that the kingdom that's manifested not just be something we speak on, but it's something that exists in our lives as we walk together with you. Let your will be done on earth as it is in the Shamayim. Let us enjoy your Shabbat, the day of rest, and recharge so that we may do diligently what you have led us out to do, and that is to bring forth the word to Israel. Yada Yahuwah. Love you out.
Love you too,
Shabbat shalom to you. Shankul Yah One Vision Ministry. Go ahead and who are you, sir?
Yahuda.
Yahoo to Zion. Yeah, there you go. Love you, man. I have a
Okay. Likewise, Doc.